You know that feeling when you're thinking about investing in a mutual fund and it feels like you're about to get buried under a mountain of paperwork? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today, we're cutting right through all that noise. We're going to demystify those essential documents that every single investor runs into and turn that confusion into some serious confidence. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, you know this line. You've heard it a million times, right? Spoken so fast at the end of every ad that it's practically a blur. It's the universal warning, the fine print everyone hears, but let's be honest, very few of us actually act on. It almost sounds like a barrier, doesn't it? Like it's meant to scare you off. But here's the thing, it's not. It's actually an invitation.
And that's the real question, isn't it? The warning tells you to read, but it doesn't tell you what to read or even how to read it. It's like being told to read the manual without telling you which page to turn to. Well, that is exactly what we are going to break down right now. We're going to turn that famous warning from a legal hurdle into your own personal investing advantage.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle that warning head on. Then, we're going to build your investor's toolkit piece by piece. We'll do a deep dive into the most important document, the SID, and then talk about how to stay in the loop. By the end of this, you'll have a clear path to investing with confidence. Okay, first things first. Let's completely reframe that disclaimer. It's so easy to just tune it out as, legal noise, but it's actually the very foundation of your rights as an investor. The whole reason these documents even exist comes down to a really old principle, caveat emptor. It's just a fancy Latin way of saying, let the buyer beware. It means the responsibility is on you to know what you're buying. But, and this is the key, to make that fair, regulators have forced the fund companies to give you a complete intelligence report. They have to lay out all the facts, giving you all the power you need to make a smart call. So let's open up that toolkit. Honestly, the best way to think about these documents is like the nutritional label on your food. I mean, you'd glance at it before you buy it, right, to see what you're really getting into? Well, it's the exact same idea here. These are the ingredients of your investment. So there are really just 3 documents you need to get your head around. First, the KIM. That's the Key Information Memorandum. Think of it as the quick summary, your starting point. Next up is the SID, the Scheme Information Document. This is the big one, the deep dive. And finally, you've got the SAI, the Statement of Additional Information, which is all about the company behind the fund. So you see the flow? Summary first, then the details, then the background. Now, we're going to spend most of our time on the SID, and for a very good reason. This is where the real action is. If the KIM is the movie trailer, the SID is the full feature film. This is where you're going to find the answers to all your most important questions. But let's be real for a second. These documents can be pretty dense. So the big question is, what do you actually need to look for? The good news is you don't have to read it cover to cover like a novel. You just need to know where the treasure is buried.
Here are the 4 absolute must-see sections. First, investment objective. What's this fund actually trying to do? Is it shooting for the moon with long-term growth, or is it trying to provide a steady income? Second, asset allocation. You've got to know where your money's going. Is it in stocks, bonds, gold, or something else entirely? Third, risk factors. They can't hide this stuff. They have to spell out what could go wrong. And fourth, and this is huge for your bottom line, fees and expenses. How much is this going to cost you? If you understand these 4 sections, you'll have a crystal clear picture of the scheme. But wait, before you dive into even one of those sections, there is one thing you have to check first. Think of it as step 0. It's the single most important starting point for looking at any fund, its risk level. And here it is, the risk-o-meter. This thing is fantastic. It's a simple little gauge that they are legally required to put right on the front page. No digging necessary, it just cuts through all the jargon and shows you, at a single glance, the fund's risk level, from low all the way to very high. It's the first question you should ask, and the answer is staring you right in the face. Here's another key concept that's all about protecting you, fundamental attributes. It sounds technical, but all it really means is the fund's core identity, its main objective, its strategy, the basic promises it made to you. Now, here's the deal. A fund company can't just change these core promises whenever they want. If they do, they have to give you a 30-day window to exit the fund free of charge. No exit fees or what they call loads. It's your escape hatch. Okay, so you've done the research, you've picked your fund, you've invested. Awesome. But your job isn't quite done. Investing is an ongoing process, and a huge part of that is keeping an eye on the one thing that will absolutely 100% affect your returns, the costs. And that brings us to the TER, or total expense ratio.
This is a big one. It's the annual fee the fund charges for managing everything, and it's shown as a percentage of your investment. It comes directly out of the fund's assets, which means it directly reduces your returns. Now, it might look like a small number, maybe 1 or 2%, but trust me, over many years, that small number makes a huge difference.
And the great news is they have to be totally transparent about this. You'll see a table just like this one. Now look closely. You've got a regular plan and a direct plan. The regular plan, which you might buy through an advisor, has a total TER of over 2% here, but the direct plan, which you buy straight from the fund company, is just over 1%. That's almost half. So why the difference? It's the commission paid to the middleman. Knowing this one thing can literally save you a huge chunk of money every single year. So, what happens if something important changes after these documents are published? That's where something called an addendum comes in. It's basically a little update note. It might just be a small slip of paper, but it's legally part of the main documents. If you get an application and there's an addendum with it, you have to read it. Don't just toss it aside. It could be telling you about a critical change, like a new fund manager or a sudden fee hike. Okay, we have officially broken down the key documents. Now it's time to put it all together. Let's turn all this knowledge into your personal action plan for investing with total, unshakable confidence. So here's your toolkit one last time, crystal clear. The KIM is the summary, always start there. The SID is for the details, your go-to guide for a specific fund. And the SAI is the background check on the company itself. Simple, right? Summary, details, background. You got this. So here it is, your actionable checklist for the next time you look at an investment. 1. Grab the KIM for a quick overview. 2. Open the SID and go straight to the riskometer, the objectives, and the asset allocation. 3. Hunt down that total expense ratio, the TER, to understand the costs. And 4. Make sure you read any little addendum slips that come with the paperwork. Follow these 4 steps, and you'll be making a truly informed decision. So that big, scary warning, please read all scheme-related documents, it's not a barrier anymore, is it? It's a guide. It's an invitation. You now have the map and the toolkit to navigate the world of mutual funds with real confidence. So the only question left is, now that you know exactly where to look, what will you discover about your next investment?